What is going on everyone, Haribo41296 here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the three FangShi 3x3s as you can see right here. As far as I am aware, these are the only FangShi 3x3s on the market as of right now, so I'm not sure if there are any more or not. These are the only ones that I could really find online. So we're going to be doing a video on the FangShi ShuangRen, the FangShi JieYun and the FangShi GuanYing. Now, I am yet to be corrected for my pronunciation of that, but if I am saying them wrong, I do apologise and please let me know in the comments below. But anyway, let's get started. First up we have the FangShi ShuangRen, which is this puzzle in my hand right now. I believe this is the first one to come out, and yeah, I'm going to start with this one. In terms of sticker quality, this puzzle is really good. I've had it for quite a long time now, at least half a year or so, and I've used it to quite a significant amount. And the stickers have lasted very long. The logo hasn't rubbed off at all, and they are very nice shades as well. They are not as dark as the typical JieYun stickers. They're quite a bit brighter, and you know, while some of them, such as this green, isn't the nicest green in the world, the colours are actually quite complementary of one another. So yeah, that is the ShuangRen. Next up we have the JieYun, and I'm not sure if this one came out before or after the GuanYing, but I'm going to do this one second anyway. In terms of sticker quality for this one, it's quite a bit different. The actual cube itself has little sticker kind of indents built into the cube, and I don't know how well you can see that, but the sticker is actually resting on the inside of the piece, which is quite interesting. It gives it kind of like a tiled look to it, which is quite nice actually. The shades of the stickers are a lot different to the ShuangRen. As you can see, we have a very vibrant green here, very vibrant yellow. The blue is a little bit lighter, but it's nothing too different. And then the orange is also very bright as well. So these are the stickers for that one. They are a lot smaller than on the FangShi ShuangRen. As you can see, we have quite a lot of plastic around the cube, so it does give it a bit of a smaller look. Finally, we have the GuanYing, and I believe this is the last one to come out. I'm not entirely sure. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on any of these things. I'm just not very educated in this department. But anyway, the sticker quality on this one closely resembles the ShuangRen. The sticker shades aren't quite the same. As you can see, the green is a lot different. Orange is about the same. Blue is about the same. And red is about the same. But they have just added on that more vibrant green that they have on the JieYun. The stickers are about the same size as well, and about the same quality. They are very stable and very sturdy as well. So that is the GuanYing. In terms of turning for these cubes, they all have very different and very unique kind of feelings to them. Again, I'm going to start with the ShuangRen, and I'm just going to do a couple of algorithms on it and show you kind of like how it sounds and how it looks to turn. As you can hear, the turning is very smooth, but it's not, I'd say, as smooth as like a Zanchi, for example. I'd say it closely resembles a Schengen F2 type of feel, but again, it's not really bubbly either. I can't really put my finger on it. It has a very unique feel to it that I haven't really felt on any other cubes. It is very fast though, as you can see. It can do algorithms very quickly. They would be faster if I wasn't behind the camera, but yeah, it's a very nice turning puzzle, and I really like the feeling of it. Next up we have the JieYun, and this is very different to the ShuangRen. Now, all of these cubes haven't been lubricated. They all have the stock tensions, and you know, these are how they felt out of the box. Now this is a little bit too tight for me. I haven't had a chance to actually loosen it up, but let's get turning. Now this is a lot smoother than the FangShi, and I personally prefer this feeling a lot more. It isn't quite as fast in my personal experience. I'd say it's a bit slower, but it does kind of feel a bit more secure in my hands. I don't feel like it's going to pop. And I guess this is probably designed more for intermediate speed cubers, whereas the ShuangRen is probably designed for, you know, the best in the world who have more control over the cube. As I said, it's very secure, it feels very sturdy, and the turns are very accurate on it. Finally, onto the GuanYing. This is perhaps my least favourite of the turning ones, and let's just do some algorithms. Now, I don't know if you heard that, but that's actually the loudest one of the three, and it's very, very wishy in my experience. I feel like, I don't know, it feels like it's kind of made out of cheap plastic. It feels quite hollow. It is a very light cube as well, and kind of the sound it makes and the feeling it gives off kind of makes it feel a bit like an Eachine 4x4. I don't know how many of you will actually agree with that, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this puzzle at the moment. So in terms of turning speed and kind of feeling quality, I would put it between the JieYun and the FangShi. Again, as I said, I'd say the FangShi is faster for more experienced speed cubers, whereas the JieYun, it can go very fast as well, but it's also got a bit of leeway for when you kind of, you know, you have rough turns and it'll be a bit more stable for you, but it's not quite as fast as the FangShi. And in last place, unfortunately, is the GuanYing. Now, it is very, very fast indeed, but again, it just doesn't really agree with me, the feeling, and I think it does feel a little bit cheap in my hands, a bit light, and I don't know, I don't really agree with it that much. Now, for this video, I have actually taken apart the FangShi ShuangRen and the GuanYing. I was going to take apart the JieYun, but it is actually impossible. I can't get it apart. I've tried doing everything, and the pieces won't come out, so I'm going to just do these two. The pieces are pretty similar anyway, so I just thought I'd show you guys these. So if we just look inside the ShuangRen, you can see that it very closely resembles the Dian cubes. Just the way that the pieces are made, the kind of torpedo-y type edges, and then the rather large centerpiece. And as you can see, the centerpiece is very important to the locking in of the pieces. I'm going to try and catch it in the light. Because the pieces slide along the centerpiece and it all holds it all together very nicely. When we take a look at the actual pieces themselves, we have a corner and an edge, and when you put them together like so, you can see that they all lock together. This part of the corner falls right in there, and then obviously we have this kind of torpedo type piece here, and it just kind of fits together really snugly, and that makes it very difficult for pieces to pop, because no matter what kind of direction you're going from, everything's locked together very nicely. Now with the JieYun, as you can see, it's very similar, the way that the pieces are kind of stuck together. The center pieces are very, very similar. They're a bit bigger down here at the bottom, probably to lock it in a bit more, but yeah, as you can see, that edge is not coming anywhere out of that centerpiece. It's very, very tightly in there. The pieces, surprisingly, are very, very similar to the ShuangRen. You can see they are very, very similar in shape and in size. So there's nothing really new there. With the corners, again, it's just a difference in ridges, and other than that, they're very, very similar actually. The pieces are almost exactly the same, and they just, again, fit together really snugly, very nicely. So the cube has no chance of popping really. Alright, so here are the three cubes. I guess now we're going to move on to corner cutting. So first of all, we're going to start with the ShuangRen, and I haven't actually really tried corner cutting here, but we'll try line to line, and that's no problem whatsoever. A bit further, it has a little bit more resistance, and then about 45, it can't quite do without locking up, but if you do wriggle it, it does kind of make it eventually. But I'd say safely, line to line, absolutely no problem whatsoever. The JieYun has a similar story. Line to line is basically no problem whatsoever, and you have to remember this is very tightly tensioned, but line to line, no problem. If we try and stretch a little bit more, it doesn't quite do it. It has a bit more resistance. Again, eventually doing it, the more you wiggle. But of course, when you're speed solving, you don't really want to be kind of having a lock up in between because of corner cutting, but line to line is absolutely fine, no problem. And finally, the GuanYing, again, line to line is basically fine. I'd say the corner cutting on this is the worst of the three, because again, line to line, it does do it, but it has a lot of resistance and it can lock up, but if you do force it enough, it will make it fine. Can't really do more than line to line, whereas the other two kind of could. You will basically just lock up if you do try and do more than that. Now on to reverse cuts. We start with the ShuangRen, and reverse cuts are actually very impressive on this puzzle. You can almost do about half a cubie, probably even more. You can't quite get to line, unfortunately, but you can do, you know, half to 3/4 of a cubie, no problem whatsoever. Onto the JieYun, it's again very, very similar to the ShuangRen. You can do half a QB, no problem. You can basically try and do a bit more, but again, the further you go, the more likely you are to kind of lock up. But I'd say you can do half a QB very, very easily with no problems. Then finally the GuanYing, and is very similar to the normal corner cut in. This one does fall up short compared to the other ones. It will reverse cut, no problem, but up to half a QB does pose a problem for it, and it will lock up if you try and do more than half a QB. I'd say anything between a quarter to half a QB though will typically be fine. Anyway guys, I think that is it for this video. We basically have three very, very good cubes here, and you know, it'd be very difficult to kind of rank them in order of how much I like them. Personally, I'd say the FangShi is my favourite one at the moment. Just the feeling of it is very, very nice. It's very smooth and it's very fast, and it has the best corner cutting out of all of these puzzles. Next up, as you can probably guess, it is the JieYun. It's a very nice puzzle, and it is very close behind the ShuangRen actually. It is almost as good. It just does fall short on a few things, such as the feeling, the speed, and the corner cutting. Finally, in last place is the GuanYing. I know I haven't really been very nice to it in this video, but you know, it did fall short in a few areas where the other two excelled. That said, it is still a very, very good 3x3, and you know, I'd be happy to use it as my speed cube if I didn't have something better. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button below, leave a comment somewhere with any suggestions you have. Tell me if I've been pronouncing these puzzle names wrong, because I really don't know any of this stuff. Everything in this video has been done from my perspective. I've not watched any other videos, so I have probably missed a few things out, so you know, just let me know in the comments if there is anything. I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to my channel, and you'll be notified of when all my new videos come out. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, I will see you next time.